back home, a fight to keep. Out here, the cold wind blows. I did not want to leave. And I wonder if she knows the first word she said to me was goodbye. The sky was dark, back east the sun will rise. At home, my wife and daughter, I don't know where I'm tonight. But soon I will find a road that leads home. She doesn't care about the cold wind to carry this song. All that she knows right now is that her father's still gone. The first word she learned to say was goodbye. Someone waiting back at home. We got married down in Texas, Texas, a little daughter of my own. Texas, a little daughter of my own. Everybody else getting reckless, reckless. I gotta find a way back home. We got married down in Texas, Texas. My little girl will soon be grown. Everybody else getting restless, restless. You're gonna have to let me go.
Ben and Rick from Lucero, welcome to The Right Note.
Thank you for having us.
And welcome back to Australia.
Very glad to be here. It's been too long.
Right. Ben, you've spoken about the impact that having a daughter had on your latest album, Among the Ghosts.
For sure.
And I guess the song we just heard, the title track,
Yeah.
really draws on that. What was that the key inspiration between writing that song and being away from your family?
That song was a tricky one. That was one of the first pieces of music that came together, but one of the last batches of lyrics. We had the music forever, and I was trying to find the right words. I liked the song so much, I wanted the words to be exactly right.
Right.
And that ended up being one of the last sets of lyrics that I wrote. But it ended up, since it was the last song to be written lyrically, it kind of tied everything together with the rest of the record. I'd had time to work through this song and that song. This one talks about family in one way, and this one talks about family in another. But that song talks the most directly about my family.
And you labored over it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
we went through a
just
lot of...
stumble on those words. Those
No,
are
it took a lot of
carefully
versions.
chosen.
And yeah, that's those are the words that I really enjoy singing every night when we're out on the road and I'm away from my little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kind of help me get through the lonely nights, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, that's kind of what Lucero has always been, the type of music that I kind of lean on in those kind of lonely times.
Right.
So this song fits right in with that. But yeah, the family ended up being a bigger part of the album than I realized it was going to be.
So when you went into it, you didn't think that...
I wasn't sure. A lot of the old school Lucero fans were kind of worried that now if Ben's happy and he's married and, you know, and has a family.
How's he going to write anything we can relate to being brokenhearted?
Exactly. How is he going to write brokenhearted drinking songs?
Yeah.
And really, it actually, ironically, now that I've got people that actually matter to me back home, the heartbreak's even more intense in its own way. It's a different kind of heartbreak, but it's still a heartbreak, having to leave them behind. And so actually, I worked hard on those lyrics, but it was a very similar process to all the past Lucero stuff. It fits right in, I think, with our kind of arc.
So strong.
So yeah, it's just a different kind of heartbreak now.
That's right. Do you find it, I mean, 9 studio albums in, do you find it harder or easier to make a record?
I'm always positive that the last record was the best thing I'm gonna write, and I've got nothing left in me. That's exactly how I felt going into it. Among the Ghosts, I was like, I don't even know why we're booking time, fellas. This is not gonna happen. Not exactly. It wasn't that bad, but I was like, oh God, I don't know what we're gonna do. So we just go in. This time we had the luxury of recording with a Memphis producer, Matt Rossbang, at a Memphis studio, which is Sam Phillips, and we with no label, and so we were just kind of paying for it as we went, which was nice. It afforded us a long time to develop stuff, and we weren't on any specific deadline. So we were able to go in kind of unprepared and just start playing and see what stuck and see what started to work.
Just shape the record, you know.
Yeah, kind of in a very natural, kind of organic way.
We ended up cutting more than we used, actually.
14 songs, I think.
Yeah, so it was real productive. And while we did it over the span of a year, the actual work when we were doing it went surprisingly fast.
Yeah, I don't know, we were probably under a month, actually,
I think so,
in the studio,
too.
but
I think
over
so, too.
a year's time.
But it was a positive experience, so you didn't really notice how long you were there.
Yeah, I mean, not having the pressure of a label sounds great, but
right.
Also, is there a
There's
financial
no support.
pressure that
Oh,
comes
for
with
sure.
that?
We spent a fair amount of our own money, which your own money always hurts a lot more when you have to spend your own money.
Yeah,
that's rough. But it was very liberating as well. And for the first time in a long time, I'm the one that writes the checks, and so I knew exactly, kind of as we were going, how much we were in for, but it was going so well. Really, that was kind of the last thing on my mind.
Okay.
The songs were so good, and working with Matt Rossbang was so fun, and being at Sam Phillips was so cool.
Yeah.
It was worth every dime.
Yeah.
So that was the easy part.
Cool. I've read that walking into Sam Phillips is like walking back into the 60s. Is that fair?
Yeah.
It hasn't changed a whole lot.
When he sold Elvis and those rights to RCA and left Sun, he built the studio we're talking about for $1 million, which in 1960 was a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been changed since then.
Wow.
It's totally locked in time. It was the first place I ever did a record. So I was very happy that we recorded there. It's just there's nothing else really like it that I've seen. Certainly you wouldn't build anything like that today.
Right.
You know.
What do you see when you walk in? Like, can you describe the feeling of the place?
There's a lobby when you first walk in, and then there's a set of stairs that has a kind of a metal gate, and nobody really gets to go up there. But there's a lobby with a front desk where a receptionist would have been in the old days. And then you turn left down a hallway, and there's a Studio A and a Studio B, and a little lounge and some offices. And at the end of the hallway is really an interesting piece of the building. You open this big heavy door, and at the very end of the hallway is a reverb chamber, an echo chamber. And it's a cave that they built it looks like a cave. The ceiling
We used to
low
call it
and
the mud
sloped.
room because it was brown. in
Really?
there. Yeah.
It used to, yeah. And it's one of Sam Phillips' ideas. He built the whole thing he built it.
Every angle is there for an acoustic reason.
Yeah.
Right.
So that everything is designed for music. Sam was the first guy to do what they call an eastern ceiling, which is like, a corrugated ceiling, and that's in there. And there's huge panels. I mean, what would you say, 20 feet tall is the studio itself is 20 feet tall. You could put an orchestra in there. And there's panels all over the wall that have pillow on one side and hard stuff on the other.
But they're cabinets and they open up, so you can open them up and have it
Create
affect the
what you
sound. You
want.
can close them, and so the whole building's built to be used sonically.
Yeah.
And the cool part is Matt Rossbang, being a Memphis kid, he used to work at Sun Studios in the old days when he was starting out. And now he's found a spot over at Sam Phillips, and he's working out of there. But he knows how to use that building the way Sam Phillips intended it to be used.
Okay.
Like, he's one of those guys that actually gets...
He's a real student of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if there's anybody else that knows it as well as he does.
I don't think there has been.
So it was cool. He's brought in some new gear and his own stuff and his own kind of take on the place. But it's a very true...
Yes.
kind of take on the building and the production qualities there.
That's
So
great.
yeah, it was the right time to go into Ardent. Into Sam Phillips. We'd been at Ardent,
Right.
which is another famous studio in Memphis.
Sure.
And we'd done the last 3 records there.
Yep.
But it was time to make the move from Ardent to Sam Phillips, and it was just
Yeah.
it fell together at the right time, real
Yeah.
nicely.
But to give you an idea of it being locked in time, one day actually it was on the Emily Barker record. We were cut it at Phillips as well, and we're looking for things to place on the piano for prepared piano sounds. So I go into the shop that was always there, and there's a little cigar box. Opened it up. It's full of undeveloped 35 millimeter rolls of Sam from the '60s.
Wow.
No telling what's on there.
What happened to
Photograph
it?
film.
Photographic film.
Did it get developed?
Not yet. I mean, it's not one. There's history everywhere in there.
yeah.
I'm sure someday they will.
And then behind that gate that leads to the stairs, there's some offices and stuff up there, and Sam Phillips' office is up there, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Jukebox
that hasn't
in the
changed.
desk.
Yeah, he had an L-shaped desk. One side of it's up against a wall, and I'm not sure how many 45s could fit into it. But it's a pretty cool. It's straight out of 1960.
It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
That room
It's
hasn't
cool.
changed. It's still the chair Johnny Cash broke is still in there.
Well, I was going to ask you, people like Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, Bob Dylan.
Elvis
they've
hung
all
out there a lot
recorded-
still,
Right.
yeah.
Can you sense the ghosts in there?
I think so.
Yardbirds got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still has that vibe. for lack of a
Vibe
better
and a
word.
smell.
Yeah,
it has
for sure.
it has a vintage smell. I don't know if it's asbestos. I don't know what it is. But you come home and I know where you've been recording.
Yeah.
But it's something that most musicians wouldn't get the experience to be able to be in a place like that.
Yeah.
They tear them down. They
Yeah,
just
yeah.
aren't that many. So
Yeah.
We were lucky.
That's great. And the albums, I guess the sort of 3 preceding albums prior to Among the Ghosts, kind of had a little bit of a bigger sound, sort of more Memphis influenced sound with
True.
horns and piano. And your sound has, in keeping with that, I mean, your sound has evolved from the early days, but
Yeah.
they still seem to be very much Lucero albums.
I hope so.
Is there a cornerstone of your sound that makes each album a Lucero album?
I don't know.
this guy.
I'm not sure what
Your
that would
songs.
be. I think it's just.
Your
I think
songs.
the songwriting's still coming from the same place it was coming from 20 years ago. I don't know. My taste in music has expanded over the years to include more stuff, but it's still based in the same stuff that I grew up on, which is just the old rock and roll and classic rock stuff. That's really where everything kind of branches out from, and that hasn't changed over the last 20 years. So
Now he won't tell you, but his songwriting skills. He demands a certain level of integrity from his songs, or he won't do them.
Right.
And to me, that's a big part of it, is just the quality of the songs and the fact that what he's singing about, pretty much everybody can experience or relate to their experience. He's not up there singing about pandas and unicorns or
Right.
whatever, It's about real people, dirt under your fingernails, rock and roll. And I think that's a big part of it, is it's not lofty.
Absolutely.
It's
it's pretty straightforward.
real
stuff.
straightforward.
Yeah.
As are we.
Well, the other song that you played, To My Dearest Wife,
Yeah.
I understand was actually inspired by sort of Civil War letters.
Loosely, yeah.
But also there are parallels in that to your life and what you were talking about earlier in terms
Yeah.
of leaving home
For
to
sure.
go on tour.
And yeah, that's always nice when you can write a song that I guess technically might be about someone else at a different time in a different place. But the more of you that you can put into that person's story and time and place, the better the song is.
And the more universal.
Yeah, exactly. And that one was easy because same type of theme, similar to Among the Ghosts, is being separated from your loved ones.
Right.
And so that Kiss Our Baby Girls Tonight, I came up with that line. I was like, that'll make me tear up just saying it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, yeah, we'll use that. We can go that direction.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, Ben and Rick, thank you for taking time away from your loved ones to
Thank you
to
for
visit
having
us.
us. It was a
We
pleasure.
appreciate it.
No
Thank you for
worries.
talking to us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm waiting on a sunrise, giving up on sleep. My only thoughts were with all back home in Tennessee. They're dug in on a hilltop, we got cover in the trees. Between the two, an open field that looks like hell to me. To my dearest wife I ride, kiss our baby girls tonight. Tomorrow's battle will not wait, and I don't see no other way. Well, I can see the old house not too long ago. Every night I slept by your side, was heaven just being home. I hear them calling reveille, and I can see the sun. Breaks my heart, we're kept apart, and still fighting to be done. To my dearest wife I ride, kiss our baby girls tonight. Tomorrow's battle will not wait, and I don't see no other way. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling at the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. All right, Rick. Well, now the sun has risen, you mean the world to me. My thoughts must turn to work at hand, far from Tennessee. They're dug in on the hilltop, we'll leave the cover of the trees. We'll march across that open field that looks like hell to me. To my dearest wife I ride, kiss our baby girls tonight. Tomorrow's battle will not wait, and I don't see no other way. Now the bride of war wears blood and fire, hand in hand death walks beside her. We'll cross the field, lay all to waste, I don't see no other way. To my dearest wife I ride, I'll kiss our baby girls tonight.